Insider reports coming out of the NFL Combine have sent a clear message across the league. Jonnu Smith may be on the verge of losing his spot, and the decision could come within days. What once looked like a stable veteran presence at tight end has suddenly turned into one of the most talked about roster situations of the offseason. The whispers started quietly inside Indianapolis. Executives talk, agents talk, scouts talk. By the time media sessions begin, the tone of the conversation usually tells you everything. In this case, the tone surrounding Smith has shifted dramatically. League sources believe he is firmly on the chopping block and could be released as part of a larger financial and schematic reset. Smith's 2025 season did not deliver what the organization expected. He finished the year with just 222 receiving yards. For a modern NFL tight end, especially one carrying a veteran's salary, that production is difficult to justify. Tight ends today are not just safety valves. They are matchup weapons. They are red zone threats. They are third down converters. When those boxes are not checked, front offices start calculating. The numbers tell part of the story, but they do not tell all of it. The bigger picture involves direction. When a franchise shifts offensive philosophy, the ripple effect touches every position group. A new scheme demands different traits. Coaches look for specific movement skills, blocking versatility, alignment flexibility, and route precision. If a player does not naturally fit that blueprint, the margin for error disappears. That is where Smith's situation becomes complicated. Under the current leadership structure, roster flexibility has become a priority. General Manager Omar Khan has made it clear through action that cap management is not optional. It is essential. Teams that manage the salary cap aggressively stay competitive longer. Teams that hesitate get stuck in mediocrity. At the Combine, Khan was asked directly about Smith's future. His response was not dramatic, it was not confrontational, it was simply evasive. In NFL circles, that matters. When a general manager wants to shut down speculation, he does it immediately. When he sidesteps the question, it often signals that internal discussions are already well underway. Avoidance is rarely accidental at the Combine. Smith's contract reportedly presents an opportunity to clear meaningful cap space. That space can be redirected. It can be used to extend a young player. It can be rolled over into the next season. It can fund free agent additions who better fit the evolving system. Every dollar matters in a league where elite quarterbacks command massive portions of the budget. For Smith, the issue is not effort, it is alignment. His athletic profile has always intrigued evaluators. He can move, he can accelerate, he has shown flashes of being a dynamic tight end who creates problems for linebackers in coverage. But flashes are not enough when consistency is required. 222 yards in a full season is not a small dip. It is a steep drop in impact. The offense struggled at times to generate rhythm. Injuries played a role, quarterback transitions played a role. But ultimately, tight end production is judged by tangible results. Targets, catches, first downs, touchdowns. When those categories remain quiet, tough questions follow. The most telling part of this story is timing. The Combine is not just about draft prospects running 40-yard dashes. It is where roster plans solidify, agents meet with executives, teams map out post-June decisions. Cap analysts sit in hotel conference rooms and refine projections. If word is leaking now, that suggests movement is imminent. There is also the element of scheme transformation tied to McCarthy's offensive approach. Every offensive coordinator has preferences. Some prioritize vertical threats at tight end who can stretch the seam. Some want dual threat players who can motion into the backfield. Some rely heavily on two tight end sets that demand both blocking and route precision. If Smith is not viewed as a central figure in that vision, his role shrinks. When roles shrink, salaries become harder to justify. Cap casualty is a cold phrase. It reduces a career to numbers on a spreadsheet. But that is the business reality of professional football. Emotional attachment rarely overrides financial logic. Teams make these moves every offseason. Veterans who were key contributors one year find themselves searching for a new home the next. From Smith's perspective, this would not necessarily be the end of opportunity. Around the league, tight end depth is always in demand. Injuries pile up quickly. Contenders look for experienced options who understand defensive coverages. A change of scenery can reset perception. If released, Smith would likely draw interest from teams seeking athletic upside at a reasonable cost. A short-term prove-it deal could allow him to rebuild value in a more tailored role. Smith's 2025 tape will be studied carefully. Were the numbers a product of system limitations? Were they the result of target distribution? Or did they reveal diminishing impact? Front offices separate emotion from evidence. The silence from leadership adds weight to the speculation. If Smith were firmly in the plans, that would likely have been stated. Instead, the door was left open. In NFL language, an open door often means exit rather than extension. There is also competition to consider. The draft class includes tight ends with vertical speed and versatility. Free agency may offer cost-effective alternatives. Younger players on rookie contracts provide financial efficiency. In that environment, veteran mid-range contracts become vulnerable. The league has shifted dramatically over the past decade. Tight ends are no longer secondary options. The elite ones redefine coverage schemes. They command double teams, they tilt defensive alignments. When a team does not feel it has that kind of presence, it looks elsewhere. Smith once showed glimpses of that ceiling. The challenge has been sustaining it across a full season. Availability and impact must intersect. Without that intersection, patience wears thin. Combine Week accelerates these decisions. Agents begin preparing contingency plans. If Smith's representatives are sensing movement, they are likely already gauging interest around the league. The moment a release becomes official, negotiations move quickly. For fans, the news may feel abrupt, but inside the building, this conversation has likely been unfolding for weeks. Cap projections are not built overnight. Scheme evaluations happen immediately after the season ends. By the time the combine arrives, most teams have a clear internal roadmap. Football is unforgiving that way. Smith's career is not defined by one season. He has produced before, he has contributed in meaningful moments. The right environment can reignite confidence and role clarity, but the current trajectory suggests that environment may not be the one he occupies today. All eyes now turn to official announcements. The combine may be about prospects running drills, but veterans feel its impact just as strongly. For some, it signals extension. For others, it signals transition. Jonnu Smith appears to be standing at that crossroads. If he is released, the narrative will shift quickly from speculation to opportunity. Teams in need of depth will evaluate his film. Coaches will imagine how his athleticism fits their packages. Agents will position him as a low-risk addition with upside. If the team chooses to keep him, it would suggest internal belief that 2025 was an outlier rather than a trend. That would also place pressure on immediate rebound performance. Either way, the coming days carry weight. Roster building in the NFL is never static. It evolves with philosophy, performance, and financial reality. Smith's situation sits directly at the intersection of those forces. Production dipped, scheme changed, cap space tightened. The result may be inevitable. Inside the combine halls, decisions like this are rarely dramatic. They are calculated, quiet, strategic. Yet the impact is significant for the player involved. Jonnu Smith's future now hinges on alignment between cost and contribution. In a league defined by margins, that equation must balance. By the end of the week, clarity may arrive. Until then, the silence from leadership and the murmurs from insiders paint a picture that is difficult to ignore. The NFL never stops moving forward, and sometimes that forward motion leaves familiar names behind.